All right. My name is John Ryan from Coffee Talk and Tech, and I am doing a little testing tonight, but I'm welcome to talk about any kind of camera talk or mic talk. I'm actually just changed a lot of my arrangements in my live stream setup. And so right now I'm using a overhead out of a shot mic. It's a pencil mic. And I made some adjustments in my streaming software. In my noise reduction, I'm using a Rodecaster Pro right now. And I wasn't happy with the noise gate that's built into the Rodecaster. So I don't know if anybody has any experience with this, but it's not that it's horrible. It's just that I've used some other things that were a little smoother, and I want to make some adjustments, and I'm not sure what's the best option yet. So right now, I am streaming with vMix, and vMix has the ability to add VSTs to its production. And so I added something called an NS1 noise reduction, and that is what's in the background when I'm quiet. It makes my background quiet. So I've used this before when I was using the Wave XLR, and I've never used it with the Rodecaster. So I am running an EQ with the Rodecaster, and I believe I also have a de-esser, yes, that I'm using on the Rodecaster. I'm just not overly thrilled with the noise gate, so I wanted to change it up and try this out and see how this sounds overall. And so this is my first thing I'm going to work with is the feedback that I have on this. Now the NS1 I really enjoy because the NS1 that's the VST that I'm using for the background. When I stop talking, it's kind of like just noise suppression, brings the floor down. And so that's what I'm doing right now. When I stop talking, I'm going to stop for about 10 seconds right now, and I'm going to see how loud my background noise floor is. Okay, so that's enough for me to see how it is. I see my family member, wife out there, Danielle, and JR. How you doing? I haven't been streaming in a long time, and I'm just jumping on here and doing some testing. And I also just very recently picked up a new camera, and it is the, let's see if I can get it underneath here. Oh, let's switch cameras. Let's see. This is the Canon R6 Mark II. So it's a brand new release. It has just come out, and I just picked it up, and I'm very happy with it. And so I am going to do a live stream about this soon. I just haven't yet. But I'm really happy with the camera. And if I didn't get this camera and I didn't hear the rumors about this coming out, I would have absolutely bought a Sony A7 IV. I was going that route. I just didn't happen to go that route probably soon enough. I was waiting out because there were a few things I wanted to see. And I'll tell you a little bit about this beforehand, but I'm gonna do a live stream about the camera after I spend a little bit more time with it. Patrick Murphy, how you doing? How's it going? Thanks for coming in. So basically, I picked up the camera. It was on back order for about 3 weeks. It's the best-selling Canon camera that there is right now, and it took me 2 or 3 weeks to get it. And I'm really stoked because here's the thing, right? I started with Canon about in 2013, I think, about that. Before that, I had a Nikon, and we had the Canon 5D Mark III. That was our first camera. My wife started a photography business with that camera, and it's a great camera. From there, we went to the Canon EOS R, and the R for photography is still a fantastic camera. One of the huge benefits of that camera, full frame camera, is that it's got 30 megapixels. So for photography, it's really a nice bump up in the megapixels. And it's like really good to see how well that Canon camera lasted, that EOS R, because it was their first mirrorless full frame that they put out. And so it was kind of a little risky thing, but it got kind of like sour feedback in the beginning. And then all of a sudden it really started taking off. And it became a camera where people were like, this thing is way better than we ever thought. It was way better than most people tested. I think just people look at specs and that's all they look at. But then after they looked at their footage and their photography, they realized how good of a camera that really was. So I had bought that and my wife was using it for the business. And I recently sold it and did pretty well with the sale. You can get, by the way, you can get that camera for between $900 and $1,000 used now, which it is a fantastic full frame camera if you're in the market for that. This is our only full frame camera. Everything else that I have is a crop sensor. And a matter of fact, it's all Sony. And so I was going to go the route of selling off the Sony lenses, sold the camera, and I was just going to go strictly right into Sony with the full frame with the Sony A7 IV. But I was really fortunate to wait it out and then get this camera. And the reason is because the truth of the matter is this camera in a lot of ways is a lot better. And especially the video side is pretty incredible. The photography side is way good enough for me. And I think that the megapixels with the A7 IV would have been a handy plus. But when you go to the 24.2 megapixels is plenty for us to begin with. Like I said, I wouldn't need anything more. And so that's what I've been, this is what we got, and it's an amazing camera. And when Atomos comes out with their new update for the Atomos Ninja, you'll actually be able to have record in 6K RAW, which is pretty incredible for this camera. But if I had gotten the Sony A7 IV or I had gotten this camera, they both would have been just super stellar to begin with. So, you know, I couldn't go wrong with either or, to be truthful with you. So, yeah, so I'll let me just post some things up here just because I could use the practice and it's been a while, but just to make sure everything works smoothly. I did get a couple new things also. So, and one of them was a keyboard. And so I want to make sure that my keyboard shortcuts are all working properly for streaming. And so I should be able to hit this tab key and that would disappear. And it does. And then we'll bring this up. That works good. How you doing, JR? And so I picked up this this new keyboard. It's a 70%. I thought that I couldn't live without the numbers onto the right. And I ended up getting this, and it was kind of like a little push, like my son was like, hey, get a smaller keyboard and you'll enjoy it more. So I picked this up with a new, better mouse because the stuff I was using was very low rate, and I'm happy with it, very much happy. I picked up another 32 button Stream Deck. So now I have two of them together on a mount right here. And then the Rodecaster Pro 2 is right here at the moment. And so that's kind of like how everything is rolling out. And then plus on top of that, I'm really happy with, I picked up one of these coiled up, and now this is wireless, and then so is this, but I haven't plugged in right now. But if I wanted to, and I wanted to move them out of the way for a bit, and I was showing something right here, I could move them out of the way and then connect them back up if I wanted to. And so that was another plus thing. But just neatening up all the wires and stuff on the desk, for considering how much stuff I have on this desk, I'm pretty happy about where I am with those things right now. And then on top of that, I think more than anything, I think I'm pretty happy with this pencil mic that I've been using probably for like the last year. And the only thing I would say is I EQ it a little bit to take off a little bit of the top end on the bass side, you know, because I have a thick voice to begin with, and then that was really making it kind of muffled, and so I made sure I dropped that low end a little bit, and then raised it up about I think 8,500 kilohertz, and then brought it up about 1.7 dB just to give some clarity in my voice a little bit more. And so that's that. I'm pretty happy with this, and I think this will sound okay, and I'll be satisfied with this. It's more of just testing my levels and where things are in the Rodecaster too, and making sure that I'm happy with it. The other thing is because I'm using a VST in the software, I can't hear how much my background is really quiet. So I can only hear the after effect, and you hear it. I don't hear it right this second. So I've been recording a little bit and then seeing how that sounds. And I think I'm at a pretty good pace. But if there's something you hear that's odd or not right, let me know. Another thing I'm going to do is, because I have my PC right to the right on the desk, I've been getting some feedback when I use my boom arm. Okay. So when I use my Shure SM7B, I don't get that noise reverberating through here. But when I use this RE320, I do. And so I have yet to do that yet, but I am going to add some like isolators or some type of little bit of rubber underneath where it touches onto the desk to stop the reverberation. Hopefully it's going to help me with how quiet my background will be. And for an example, I'm also do this now so I know where this is in the video when I'm talking. I'm gonna mute this mic above right here, and then I'm gonna pull this in, and I'm gonna give it a shot to see how it sounds. Okay, so right now I'm using the RE320, and when I'm quiet, I can hear that. It's like a low rumble, which maybe I might be able to take that out with something else. I'm going to try that first, and I might be able to roll off that top end and that little buzz hum. And if I can't do that, then I'm going to do what I said. Just because when I'm quiet, which I'm going to give it like about 5 seconds of quiet just so I can hear what this sounds like. Now, I don't know if anyone else hears that kind of rumble, but for a comparison, I'm just going to go back to the overhead, and you'll notice when I'm quiet, you won't hear this like little rumble noise. And that's what I'm trying to get rid of, because those little things, you know, believe it or not, drive me a little crazy, and I don't like it. So I'm going to work on it, and it will be good. And plus I got new fans to go into my CPU where they don't go above 1500 RPMs, because when the fans go higher than that, it's a little bit louder. And since I have 2 of them just on the CPU that don't go over 1500 RPMs, it will definitely have no problem with the cooling. And then I'll be able to make sure that I'm not getting that high frequency from the fans. But I'm going to switch back to the overhead, and this way I can see if that rumbling is still there, which it won't be. Does anyone else hear it? If you're listening, let me know if you do. I'm going to mute this and go back to the overhead. All right, so now I'm back to the overhead, and I'm just going to push this off to the side. And now if I'm quiet, do you see how much more quieter it is? I don't know if anyone would notice, but I do. And so that's my main concern right now, is to keep that quietness down to a low and in the background. And I really like having a clean sound. And so that's what I'm working towards. And I think that's probably the two main things wanted to take care of also. Plus, another thing that I did is I was setting up my camera that's behind, that's filming me right now. And I was like, not happy with the way it was set up. And I tried to keep on looking for something else that was going to do a better job in the background. Oh, thank you. Thanks for stopping in and telling me, BB0647. Yes, I hear it's quieter. Okay. So you hear it's quieter. And if you hear it's quieter, and the way I am, then it definitely is quieter. And because I'm really in tune with this stuff, and I'm trying to really have some good audio. And if anyone sees the progression in my YouTube channel, that's really what I'm about, is helping people get better with their audio. And doing all this stuff helps me give some good information back to people that are fighting this type of stuff. Because if you're not experiencing it, then you wouldn't know yourself. And so that's kind of like half the battle, right? And Dr. Elo, what's going on, man? How you doing, Elo? Thanks for stopping in. I haven't seen you in a while because I haven't been streaming. And so I'm really getting some things into some fine-tuning some things and working things out. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year, by the way, everybody, including you. And I just wanted to, Aaron, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. And some of these people I haven't seen for months and months, and I'm sure a lot of you, it hasn't been exactly an easy year for a lot of people. And while I was doing what I was doing, I'm also trying to upgrade the way everything functions in here and decide what I really want. Now, there's only one little problem that came out, and I don't know if anyone else has thought of this, but I could not find one video, and this is going to be I hope no one steals it after I say it. I couldn't find one video on it, but I'm going to look for something with the new Stream Deck Plus, and since it has the Wavelink software in it, I want to use it with a high-end audio interface and just use that and see how that works. I'm skeptical. I don't know what I should do, but I want to just see if the comparison is better or worse, or is this just good enough for my audio? So that's part of the reason why I'm on here. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I can never Reopel Room. I know I probably pronounced that and I hacked that up. But it's been a while. Yes, I really appreciate everybody who's just popping their heads in here. It's been, literally only a couple times in the last 6 or 7 months that I streamed. And I kind of made it quick because the stuff I was streaming about just had kind of some popularity to it. And so when I did stream, it was getting some good views. But, I really also am looking forward to seeing what this looks like when I put the Canon, the R6 Mark II in front of me. And I want to just try it out with the lens. And I have a good L series lens, the 24-70 lens, 2.8. And I'm really psyched to try this camera out more and more with photography and everything. So I'm waiting for the cage to come out. It hasn't even come out by SmallRig yet. And when that comes in, I'm going to throw a mic on top and a handle, and I'm going to take it out and do some video running and gunning with my my Rode Wireless Go 2s also, which I need to update the firmware now because the Rode Wireless Go's have like some new firmware that just came out a couple days ago that actually makes it a lot better to use with your cameras. So I'm like really psyched about that. You can go in and pick your specific camera, a lot of the popular ones, and it sets the levels and stuff. I'm curious to see how great that is. So I'm pretty psyched to see that. Yeah, so if you're new stopping in here and I haven't seen you, say hi. Please come in and say hi. So I appreciate you stopping in, Wilm. Hello, everyone, all the best for 2023. Thank you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's a new year. I'm trying to get a new foot on the ground. I literally busted my butt to get monetized last year. And I haven't done much of anything since that year. So I did very minimal, and I need to do more. I need to kick myself in the butt. What happens is life, right? Things get busy. If you have family, you have friends, you have work, which a lot of that stuff was slowed down for 2 years and allowed me to push forward and get to where I am at this point. But right now, it's more about really just helping myself get on even keel ground and be able to turn around and be happy with the product I'm putting out, because we all can be a little bit too hard on ourselves. And me, I am. Hi, Mommy Guide. How you doing? Nice to see you. So, and a lot of these people that are here are content creators that have come into my streams, and they all know how hard it is, and they're working it. And some of them are monetized, and some of them aren't. But it's not easy, and so I know it can be hard. Oh man, Uncle Stu, thank you so much, man. First, let me say hi to Todd. Todd, how you doing? Nice to see you. Um, and Uncle Stu, thank you so much for the super chat, the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. And yep, I checked in on you just a while ago, and you actually gave me a stream just this past week, which was not an easy one to talk about, but you were doing a stream about an event that happened near you. And my wife's a teacher, and it opened my eyes because I didn't know it was happening. We had no inkling up here. No one's talked about it, but it's a big deal, and it hits home for a lot of people. So I appreciate that stream. But yeah, and thank you for the super chat. I can't remember the last time I got a super chat. It's been so long. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, so I'm working on these things. I think I'm happy with my lighting. I wish I had my third camera set up. I don't, but I have gone back and forth with my lighting and the way everything's set up. And I'm going to tell you what I did is I made a bar out of plumbing pipe, and I drilled it to the rafter right in my ceiling, and it goes all along the front span of my room, so I can hang the lighting and hang this mic and a camera down. My overhead camera is positioned off it, so not everything's off my desk, not everything is positioned around my desk, which really helps me with moving around in my space, right? And then what that has done is been great with the lighting, but I made a couple of mistakes, and I'm going to tell you what I did. I have one 37-inch softbox to my left, and that softbox, because it's so big, when it pushes out its light, it becomes nice and soft over the whole left side of my body, right? But the one on the right is only 26 inches. So I have two different sizes for the room. And so the 26-inch one, I had the same distance as the 37. So you're saying, okay, so what? It's the same distance. Then all you have to do is have the bigger one at a lower percentage and then have the right one as a little higher percentage, right? No, wrong. So what I learned out of this whole thing is if you have a bigger soft box and a smaller soft box, the distance space is important also. So the smaller one, do you have to move it closer? Nope. I was wrong. You have to move it further. So you actually move the smaller one a little further back, and then you bring the light up a little bit, but it makes the light softer. So that in itself was a learning lesson for me. And these are the kinds of things that I feel like I can always keep on learning about, and it's really important. So those are the types of things I'm doing. So, and here's my mom popping in to say hi. Hello, it's been a while since anyone's seen me on a stream, but thanks for coming in and saying hi. And Mommy Guide is saying, she's saying hi, but I meant to actually get this one up. Oh, great idea. And hack John, because of the variables, because those variables, I don't know what its called, yeah, that's what they are. They're the Varipoles. And so I don't have the Varipoles. It's funny you just mentioned the Varipoles though. I don't have the Varipoles, but I have kind of like a cheaper hack. Like I have the poles that you can attach a clamp to and use them just like Varipoles off of Amazon. And it's kind of like a do-yourself kit. And I had a backdrop up just 15 minutes before this stream. I took it down and moved it into the room. That's another thing I want to start using is a couple different color backdrops that I have for some thumbnails and stuff like that. And then also start using my green screen a little bit, which now I don't have to set it up because I have an Elgato green screen. I drop it on the floor behind me. I pull it up, boom, green screen. And it works that fast. So those are the types of things that are going to help me do better stuff all around. Better stuff. Like last year, I used a green screen when I did Black Friday, and not this past year, the year before. And the black in the green screen looked fantastic, but I had to set the poles up. I had to cover the width in here, and it was a little bit pain in the butt. It looked fantastic because I know how to light the green screen because I've been doing it for 2 years. But who wants to do that? Let's use a green screen. You could just pop right up and it's like 30 seconds literally. So DJ KC and Lady G, I've been seeing you guys stream and I've been watching you guys. Whenever I see you guys pop on, I'm taking a look. I saw you have that virtual setup with you on the wall just the other day. And I know we talked a lot this past year about some stuff. And you said, and this is my personal opinion by seeing your streams, and I feel like I hope since you and I have this relationship where we're talking about some of this equipment, and you were talking like, yeah, I got enough lighting. I'm going to have to say, I'm not sure if you do. I think you're close. I think you're a little bit underlit, but I know when you sent me and you told me what lighting you have, I'm familiar with it because I bought that stuff a while ago. And not that I just remember us having a discussion and you were saying, I'm not happy with how good of a look this should be with the A6400 and the 16 millimeter. I think it should be better. So I think your lighting can improve a bit on those types of things. And I think when you start talking about sometimes the lighting, it's going to be a little bit of money. But I would not be disappointed in the way you look because, like I told you, you're like leaps and bounds compared to the previous year. So I was pretty psyched to see it. And I'm always watching all the people who come in and who talk to me about things they need to improve on and what they're working on. And I share my improvements too, because we're all a work in process and, in progress. And that's what I'm trying to do is still keep that progress going also. So Adam, how you doing, bro? How you doing, man? I seen you're still streaming, plugging away. You're like a machine. And I'm glad you're doing good. Happy New Year. Nice to see you too, man. And yeah, so the only thing I wish that I had done probably this year is probably about at least 6 more videos, and it's been me. It's been a lot of me, and everyone can make excuses, but I think it's just a little bit of overwhelmed probably with balancing all the things that I need to do. Because like I said, some of the stuff that I was doing a year ago, I was doing it and there was less stress, right? Because the work thing was slow. Everything was slow. People, I'm talking probably almost 2 years ago. And then when work got full slammed into gear, boom, everything changed gears. I moved. That was huge. And everybody has something. So if it's not moving, it's people in their family you have to take care of. It's children, it's your wife, it's your grandparents, your parents. It's always something. There's so many things that are in everybody's wheel, and it's a lot to balance when you're trying to really be everything you need to be for YouTube. Because I think, people have always thought, oh, YouTube is, you know, it's not that hard if you find something you love and do. Yeah, it is. Because first of all, it takes people a long time to find something that they absolutely love. Now, if you find that thing, okay, then God bless you, because then it does help a ton. But it's rough. And honestly, I would love to talk more about the mindset of YouTube and how it affects you emotionally more than the tech, because that interests me more, because people interest me more. But the tech is important too, but they're everything goes together. Everything comes together. It's, it's that big word. I don't know how many people use it, but it's like, what is it called? Symbiotic. So it's if that's the right word, because I'm not really that smart, to be honest with you, at least with speaking. I'm good with tech. But so I am using Epidemic Sound, and that has been what I've been using for a while now. And I can honestly say I'm pretty happy with it. I have not had any copyright issues whatsoever, and they're always coming out with new music, and it's been a godsend, because I can tell you, I talked to Jay Smith, the guy who I was streaming with for almost a year. You all know him. He's been fighting some copyright battles. He waited almost a year. These people are reaching back out to him, and they're like, hey, your copyrights are good now, but okay, you went a year, and if you were monetized, you wouldn't be able to collect anything on ad revenue. And it's all about that kind of stuff. And I think it's kind of like, you got to find what works for you. And I know that not everybody wants to use the same things, but if it works and it makes your life easier, I think sometimes you got to consider just using what a lot of other people use. That's for sure. But I see what you're saying here, Adam. So I noticed this. I noticed Christian was gone. I didn't know that what had happened. I didn't know where he went, if he's still working for them or not. Because honestly, I just haven't been over at StreamYard really much. And I haven't been, the only time I'm into anything in StreamYard is in the forums. I give a lot of information. Nobody knows who I am. It's because no one knows I'm John Ryan. And I drop so much information over in StreamYard. One day I said I should be a mod over there. And it's like, I think I ruffled a little bit of feathers, but honestly, I give a lot of good feedback over there that no one does. People sit there with no answers from a lot of people. So I hope that Christian's doing well. I have not seen any of his personal streams either, so I don't know what he's doing or what he's up to. And besides being, both being YouTubers, I haven't really spoke to him that much. So, but who knows? Hey, Sammy, what's going on, man? Nice to see you, Sammy. Thanks for stopping in. I'm actually just doing some streaming, and I noticed that every now and then I have no limiter on here. I have no compressor on, and I see that I'm peaking on occasion, and I'm watching that. So I want you to know that I know it's there. So, yeah, I don't know, Adam. I hope the best for him, but I just know myself that gaining traction, and like for me to be out of the streaming loop for, a year practically, like, come on, like I've streamed a couple times in this last year. I'm lucky that I could come in here and have 14, 15 people after I haven't barely streamed in a year. That is like a godsend, and I really appreciate all of you. And, I've heard from some people. I just want to let you know, Coffee Talk and Tech is on TikTok. Coffee Talk and Tech is on Instagram. I have a lot of people message me on Instagram, and that's where a lot of questions come in. But I am a couple subscribers away from 1,500, and I'm thankful even to have that 1,500, because I've barely been doing anything at all. So I have been doing a little testing over in TikTok, and I'm finding out a lot. And you may be asking, well, what are you finding out? I'm finding out that the stuff that matters to me on YouTube, if I salt and pepper a little bit of that stuff in there, along with just being goofy in myself, kinda, that's preferred, because that's what a lot of people want on TikTok. They don't want all the seriousness. And you know what? It took me a little bit to get it. And the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I think it's okay. It's okay that it's not all serious. It's okay that people get to see a little bit of the difference that you may have in your personality. And the reason that I'm saying this is because also you can have a little bit of fun. You can kind of let your hair down. I can't, but I'm just saying you can let your hair down and just have a little bit of a good time over there, and then throw in some of this serious stuff. And I picked up a few subscribers from being over there. And I'm just going to keep on rolling with it, but I'm not going to stress about it. They're going to be very simple things and very easy things over there. And then also with Instagram, it's just a connection. It's people to, because I don't think that everything has been, I think everything has been what I said. And I told everybody 2 years ago, you're on YouTube and this is your goal, spend 95 to 98% of your energy in here doing what you need to do to succeed, and take a small percentage on those other things. Because honestly, in the long run, I don't feel that Instagram or TikTok is going to be a big push to YouTube, but it will definitely help. And also, when you talk about branding, it helps my branding, and it may help me in the long run. So if I ever get to be a bigger YouTuber, it just helps that as your branding gets put out to a lot of different people. And that's one thing. Listen to this next thing because it's important. The next thing is listening to my demographics. Looking at my demographics and having 88% of the people who watch my videos be under the age of 35 told me that a lot of these people are on TikTok. Some of them are on Instagram, but most are on TikTok. So what better idea than to get out there and push a little bit of this out onto TikTok and see what happens and experiment. But once again, spend amount of time in there and don't waste your energy with things. And thank you, BB0647, for saying to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. I never really ask anybody to do that. And I appreciate you asking for me. That's great. And but yeah, so that's, your demographics are important. You gotta know who you're making videos for. And so a lot of times, you know, we don't look at these things because we just stick with, you know, our groups. Now, I could see, like, Adam is he's an eBay reseller, okay? They definitely have a big community, and a lot of them have subscribed to me, and some of them ask me for information to make improvements in their YouTube videos, because a lot of them who are eBay resellers, eBay resellers have a YouTube channel too. And so they're having this YouTube channel and they want to expand upon it and they want to grow. And who doesn't? So they do ask some questions, and I do get some you know, things coming in of this and that. What can I do to improve? What kind of camera should I get? What's more versatile? What's cost effective? What's good in this budget realm? You know, all those types of things. So, Sammy is saying that the algorithm on YouTube Shorts have been wired if you have been noticing lower views. Well, so I saw people saying that in the last 2 weeks, but then I had 3 things that got like 1,500, 1,200. And I really think, you know, I'm not really worried either way, to tell you the truth, because if it doesn't get a ton of views, I just delete it and then I just throw something else up and I'll just keep on working it. I have one now that has, oh, by the way, someone asked me out there if I'm still using vMix. Aaron did. I am. This is vMix right here. And vMix, I'm very happy with. But also, I just wanted to say that I just get rid of them. If they don't do that good, I'll go and try something else for. Um, but I have one where I was on vMix and I was just talking about automatic camera switching, and I think it was like 10 seconds long. I'm getting like 30, 40, 50 views a day, and still from a month and a half ago. So it's weird how shorts work and what it does. But honestly, yeah, have I gotten some subscribers? It hasn't been tremendous. But I think the more you do them, the more you get. I just don't know. I don't care. To be honest with you, I'm monetized, and I know that most of those people I get from shorts are not going to be people that are watching my long content. And honestly, doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. So, but the whole thing is, it's good for me to use different parts of YouTube to expand, and it helps you learn the important things that you need to keep doing just so you're on par in different areas. I actually saw this. I saw you mention this, that you ended up getting a ZVE10, and you haven't started using it, and you bought a Stream Deck XL. That's great. Yeah, I mean, the XL is the way to go, because I just feel like, you know, 80% of the people, I always use exact percentages, but there's people that definitely, a lot of people who get the 15 button and say right after that, I wish I got the 32 button. So I think that's great that you did that. And to be honest with you, Adam, around here, you know it. I just picked up a 32 button Stream Deck for $120 used. And it was like another thing that was almost brand new. And so I had been watching, I picked up on Etsy the two Stream Deck holder, the 32 button Stream Deck holder, and I got the two 32s right here in front of me. This is something that I wanted for, and now I have it. And I haven't even set things up, but it's gonna grow with me probably for, forever. So that's my goal. Um, what happened here? Not sure why, but other channel not showing up in chat. Really? Okay. Well, this is open to everybody, so I don't know why either. I apologize, if anything, but it is open to everybody actually. So it's not even just subscribers. Even though I noticed that you did subscribe lately, Kevin, and I really appreciate that, and it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well, and yeah, I'm just shooting the breeze about everything and what I've been up to, and it's nice to see everybody. To be honest with you, I need to take a bigger swing at TikTok. Yeah, I don't know, Todd. Todd, here. I'll tell you exactly what I did. So I said, let me put some time in, and in about a month, I got 1,000 followers. Right? Did a bunch of silly TikToks, silly stuff. And because I knew they would get the views. And I wanted to get that 1,000 because on that platform, when you get 1,000, then you can live stream. And so I did a couple live streams on there. And the live streams on TikTok are horrible. They are horrible. There are people sitting there doing nothing. And there's tons of them.